Are you screen sharing or okay? Yeah, just let me know when if we have started or in like a chat or something. Oh, okay. Hey everyone. So this is a short-term tournament. So it's over the course of this weekend. For the FTF server. Not quite the same one. Oh, and we're going right in. This is I think Sai versus is it nyamu? Is it nyamu? I think it's nyamu. I can read, right? And we're gonna start with a rune mirror. And I have info here that this is spell boost against chess. So this is kind of a rough matchup for chess, I think. Alrighty. Yeah, it's a matchup for chess just because spell boost doesn't have to respect your board unless you have the new card check that just came out. Check makes the matchup like more winnable. Like what's kind of the problem for chess in this matchup is that like you just go wide with 5 pawns and spell boost is just like, all right, well that's cool. I'm just gonna ignore them, and then you can never get like your chess followers ramped up. I kind of want to see how Nyamu addresses this. See, like, so this is one problem, right? Like, I think like this Freya, like I could just leave Freya on board. She has the same attack power as a pawn. She doesn't do anything. Like, I mean, it's not like Sai doesn't have the cards in hand to address this Freya, but he also doesn't need to. Rook coming out. I think I would have liked to see like Queen last turn from. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, gonna check cash in your pawns. I would kind of like to see Queen last turn from Nyamu. I mean, it's kind of a risky play, but you kind of take some risks. And the point of playing Queen early, Oh, I guess Nyamu's going second because you kind of want to save Queen for Evo, but you kind of want to just use your Queen to force like a removal and then threaten like using like Insight or something. I also would maybe not have played turn 1 Insight so you can Queen Insight to get more pawns out earlier. It also more threatening with check. But yeah, definitely check is really important as chess here. And then Sai can just look at this board at like 1 attack follower. He has 2 C mails in hand. So all he really has to do is not interact with pawns. Stay in paradise. Look pretty good here. Gets an orchestral mage, I believe. And an orchestral mage and a story of a lifetime. Yeah. Makes him slightly risk. It's like a slight risk of overdrawing, but it's probably fine because he's not like he's got like most of the cards he needs to win the game already in hand. He's got 3, 5, 13 damage in hand, 14 with the magic tool, so just needs like a rating blaze or so. So no Mari for yeah, and then okay, magic's all out from Nyamu and a Queen Evo. Queen Evo is going to give him a free pawn, which gives him a free magical strategy. But like you already see the board lock in effect. Like Nyamu just doesn't have the board slots to do anything here. In fact, he's not going to get the magical strategy off of the queen here. The second queen in hand, he can definitely kind of slow down how he deploys that. But yeah, definitely always use your Evo points as chess just to like force spell boost to deal with your board, which is like another point of frustration. It's just like I think like against like a deck like Sephi, Nyamu would have King active on like turn 5 with his hand. But against spell boost, his kings probably aren't gonna start reducing cost until like turn like I don't know 7 or 8, and then he's gonna have to deal with like 2 C-mails. So let's see how Sai navigates this. Yeah, the magic missile did not go on the pawn there. In fact, he's gonna probably not even bother playing the Chakram Wizard this turn. Secrets on what? Secrets on probably the Meltina. Although you don't actually want to spell booster up too much. It's just that none of the other cards. Oh, he's gonna use the Chakram this turn on the Rook. Interesting. I guess that prevents healing, but like I don't think he should evolve the Chakram here. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. He's respecting the queen, but the thing is, like, this is actually, I think this is kind of a mistake. Now Nyamu can cash in, like, 2 pawns on this, which is pretty big. The nyamu's at 1 pawn gone so far, I believe. Cashing in 2 pawns makes the knight also playable next turn, so that's all pretty important. Cash in this pawn. Yeah, I mean, all of that said, no check for nyamu still really hurts. So probably Sacred Bird here to heal. Yeah. So yeah, that's 3 pawns left play here for nyamu. He's gonna evolve a pawn face. Yeah, and just encourage Sai to deal with his pawns. So that is king active next turn possibly for nyamu if there's a big enough board from Sai. But yeah, I mean, like I think if I were Sai, maybe he was a bit wary of check, but I don't think he was under threat from check. And so one thing he could have done last turn was just hold on to his Evo point, especially, which makes this Angel Blessing really potent. No Raining Blades is also pretty awkward here for Sai. So what does he do here? Let's see. Probably has to get rid of the big pawn, but wants to not leave a big board to allow more pawns for traded in. I think Sai can lose this if he allows nyamu to trade in to the 8 pawn threshold next turn. Nyamu's at 5 right now, so as long as Sai doesn't go, Nyamu's at 3 pawns right now, with 2 on board. So as long as Sai doesn't leave like 4 health worth of followers on board, I think he's fine. 4, 5. It has to be 5 health worth of followers. Yeah. 5 being like 4 1 attack pawns, and then the 3 attack pawn would be traded in. Oh, pinging the 1 attack pawn. He's really worried about check. Banishing the 3 attack pawn. Okay, so nyamu now actually has the ability to set up a king this upcoming turn. Magical strategy plus knight is going to be the last 3 pawns he needs. He's at 5 pawns right now, and he has 3 Mystic Kings in hand, so that is really strong. So yeah, magical strategy, pawn number 6, and then knight for free is pawns number 7 and 8. That allows him to play his strategy, but his hand is a little lackluster, to say the least. And I mean, this is a clear, but is it the kind of clear you want? That's the question. Let's see. So that he should be at. Yeah, I think he might go for Uranus and Bluebird here, which is reasonable. Yeah, it is kind of awkward here for nyamu that he is. Oh, I don't know if I like this Evo, right? I think that's his last Evo, which means now, yeah, that cuts into the amount of damage he can do. And since Sai played Story and got 2 cards, Sai has an Orchestral Mage in hand, so that extra damage doesn't. It's kind of like fake damage, basically. So saving the Evo for like the burst turn with the king is definitely more important than doing it like this. Because yeah, I mean, like Sai is probably this Angel's Blessing is just free. Oh my god, and it draws into another one. So like that's a very hard punish for nyamu using that Evo point. Oh, the 3rd Angel's Blessing. Oh my god. Okay, like I think like maybe nyamu might have a takeaway here to just not use the Evo point when it's not pushing for lethal. And the other reason you save the Evo point is just because chess's biggest problem is that it struggles to OTK with only king, right? Because king is 14 damage. King is 12 damage with the pawns, 14 with an Evo point, and then check adds another 4 damage. So then you still need 2 more damage, right? So it's like 2 checks with a king, or like Evo point plus like a crushing rain is what I play. I'm wondering what nyamu. I can look at nyamu's list. Usually he adds some extra sources of damage, like Magic Missile. He's not playing Crushing Rain. He has okay, but nyamu does have Olivia and Sylvia, so that just kind of justifies using up his Evo points a little more. Okay, back to the game. So Sai just healed up with Sacred Birds and Angel, like all 3 blessings. This is actually just like I don't know. I'm a little bit of like side note here is I've been thinking Angel's Blessing should be nerfed at this point because it's pretty much just a spell boost card. Like no other deck in the current game uses it. Okay, check off the top for nyamu, which is really good. But like he's actually in a fair bit of danger here. Because yeah, so let's see how he does these trades. I think you trade Uranus and the Knight into Uranus and Knight into the 6/8 C-mail, then play one king. You can't play check after playing king, but that's fine. You have two more kings in hand. Play one king and then Uranus, but like no healing here really sucks. Okay, so he's okay. Nyamu's gonna go for check into Uranus, I think. Okay. Check, trade the pawn into Uranus. Um this is okay. Probably wants to draw into Olivia and Sylvia, I suppose, because of Evo points. Okay, so Uranus in. Oh, we could have card seared the pawn. That would have been a cleaner trade. Yeah, yeah, because card seer would generate another pawn that would be 2 damage, and so get a little more face damage here. Uh, but what I don't like about this is this doesn't put up any wards, and so given that we know that Sai has the orchestral mage, it's a little scary not to ward here. So orchestral mage is 3 damage. Crushing rain is okay. Draw first. Draws into another crushing rain. Is that lethal for Sai? Let's see. Insight again. I think Sai is just okay. So 3, 7. I count 9 damage. So I think Sai is going to hold on to the. Yeah. Hold on to the. But that me okay. But Sai has to heal this turn at 10 against active king is a death sentence. So I think Sai has to commit the orchestral mage. He's just trying to get as much damage as he can. This is only 9 damage that I count though, so that's kind of not quite good enough. Yeah, and the spell boost counts in his hand are now just really awkward. He can't play both the crushing rain and the raining blades. Raining blades is definitely the higher priority here though. Just heal up to 19 so you don't lose next turn. Yeah. But might be game over here because I don't know how Side wins from here. That's the tricky thing. Olivia and Sylvia is the one of in Yamu's deck is a great top deck. Although it was very bold of him to just run them out here because his only follow up here is king. He doesn't. All the other cards in hand they require Evo points to heal, so they don't really do anything. Yeah, I'm not sure it was correct to slam the Olivia and Sylvia like that. It might have been to get the Evo recovery, heal with Gilnalise, and then play a king, which looks a little scuffed, but it's like a way safer play because now Nyamu can lose to these last 2 crushing rains in Sai's hand. Yeah, I really don't like not healing there. Or the Uranus off the top is also lethal. So yeah, definitely had to Gilnalise for back up to 10, which with the Uranus top deck is kind of a moot point, but yeah. But still, like against spell boost, like they have so much damage out of hand that you have to make sure you heal in that kind of situation. So I think like I would have liked to see, yeah, and the last 2 kings were stuck in hand, so I definitely would have liked to see king used a turn earlier there for Nyamu just to get the ward out. Get the wards out on the pawns, and then that would have made it a lot harder for Sai to punch it. But that matchup is hard for chess, just because like your king is active so late that you don't really get to do anything. Alrighty, so we're going on to game 2 now. Here is going to be chess against sword. This matchup is pretty reasonably good for chess, but Kagemitsu and sword is really good against chess. The reason being that the survival, the way like the reason chess has a chance in this matchup is that king creates all these 2/2 wards that are actually kind of hard to get rid of, and king soaks up the Octress hit, but with Kagemitsu, he just wipes out all the ward pawns in one hit, and then Barbaros gets in for sure, and you just use flags to lethal with sword. Also, Octress can steal Storm from the pawns, which is pretty scary. But Kagemitsu is kind of the key card in this matchup for sword. in my experience. Freya pulling another king for Nyamu, which is really awkward. So yeah, he's gonna use the story of the lifetime. I think I would pitch. Oh, he's gonna pitch the card seer. I don't know if I like that. I think, given that he's going to turn 4, I would definitely keep the card seer because he has Rook in hand. Or now he has Rook, but I mean, but he needs to draw into Rook to be able to play the game. And card seer plus Rook plus card seer is like the best thing he can do this next turn. Okay, but he draws another card seer, so I guess rewarded. And this is gonna be pretty good. You hit one pawn into the Kage. Card seer the pawn. Oh, definitely card seer the pawn there. Yeah, that's just a yeah, because that reduces the knight. I mean, the whole point of cards here is to just dump them to get more pawns up faster, which like they're like the pawn is the only target in the deck they can clone. So yeah, not playing cards here there is a bit hasty for Nyamu. Okay, now Sai is going second here with no Metatron. I had a little bit of a slow start. He's gonna use the Octrice now. I'm assuming for card draw and to get the Remnant of Hollow in hand. He kind of has his first win condition setup, which is the Kagemitsu. And by saving Deep Sea Scout, he can get boots next turn onto Kagemitsu to set him up for turn 7. Which means I think what he wants to do is get Remnant of Hollow. Oh, okay. Draws the General Maximus. That's really good. That's really nice for his next turn. I might let him just Maximus next turn instead of Deep Sea Scout and Stormrack First Mate. But part of the plan here, yeah, and so like Nyamu just has to pay a premium here for this Magical Knight because he yeah, this is actually looking really bad for Nyamu. Like this card here would have just reduced one cost of the Magical Knight, and then he could have played Story of a Lifetime or something also this turn to try to draw into more Magical Knights. And this is this is this is really slow chess development, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not even great trades here either. Probably evolve the cards here. I mean, just evolve one of the pawns, maybe. Like, none of this board is going to matter, to be honest. But he does want to cash in the storm damage from the knight. So, yeah. Yeah, evolving this pawn. Okay, but this is the pawn that was generated by the cards here is not the one Nyamu evolved, so he's going to lose that pawn as well. I guess he really wants the board space, but this is already, like, losing for the chess player at this point. So that's really awkward. Okay, Octrice, I kind of like, this is a bit spicy, but I kind of like Octrice evolve over copying the knight, evolve. Okay, I mean Maximus, this is the safe play. Maximus is always like just the best card you can do. But this is actually a bit awkward because Sai has pulled the Stormrack First Mate with only Remnant of Hollow as the Evo target, which means he can't play a loot this turn to trigger Adherent. That's probably okay. Because reducing Remnant of Hollow is really strong. It makes, yeah. It's like, it's really strong for setting up his combo kill, and he has like all the cards in hand to kind of slow down. In fact, with the First Mate in hand, Sai could even reduce that Remnant of Hollow down to 0, which is really strong when you have that set up. But Sai's probably going to be okay here unless Nyamu draws into, like, another... Yeah, so Nyamu's hand is kind of not doing anything. Yeah. Okay, the Queen is probably the only card that could get him out of this situation. So that's really good for Nyamu. Let's see the... So that's at least going to allow him to clear Stormrack First Mate, which is like a requirement here. So magical strategy is going to play pawn here, get the magical strategy, and then like he just has to hope he draws into like a knight or a rook. No. I really don't like this bird. Not triggering the second queen effect is like, it's just way too slow. Yeah. This is just losing. Also, like, killing Kagemitsu is not a priority here. because now Sai is gonna be able to get Kagemitsu on turn 7, which is more dangerous than getting Kagemitsu on turn 8, assuming that Nyamu would get enough pawns to get his kings active. By turn 8, because like Sai's kings aren't active. Like Sai needs to be able to. So like Sai on turn 7 cannot get his kings, cannot play a king. But on turn 8, he could feasibly play a king if he draws well enough. But he hasn't been drawing cards, so those kings are just gonna get stuck in hand for the whole game at this point. Yeah, Stormrack first mate again from Sai. Okay, sorry, I mixed names up there. Nyamu needs to get those kings active. Yeah, I think he reduces Hollow down to 0 here. Yep, and then you play the okay, that's fine though. Yeah, play the necklace, get out the cannoneer, and then trade in the cannoneer. I think you can play. Oh, you can't play the boots here. Deep Sea Scout, okay. And then fuse both of these? Play one, fuse one? You definitely want to fuse for Remnant of Hollow here. You want to get your fuse count up. Make sure. Yeah. Okay, okay, get the double fuse so you can't be board locked. And you don't burn a card, sure. Yeah, I think like... Oh, but the double fuse is kind of awkward, right? I think it was fuse 1 into Barbaros, fuse 1 into Remnant there. Okay, but he has the boots generated to fuse into Barbaros, so that's fine. Okay, so yeah, this means he doesn't have to show the Barbaros. That's fine. With Kagemitsu and Barbaros next turn, this is just going to be lethal from Sai though. So I think yeah, Nyamu finally drawing into more chess pieces, but it's just not going to be enough. The Sacred Bird again. Okay, hits the. Doesn't miss the 2 and 3. But yeah, Kagemitsu evolves here, generates a loot that he can't play. Yeah, Barbaros at 7 loots already, fuses the boots. Remnant is at 4 fuses. This is way too much damage. And the board wasn't clear, right? Like on top of all of that. Yeah, so I think this goes back to Nyamu not using that card seer on turn 4. Because he needed a 3-cost knight that turn so that he could use Story of the Lifetime to like find another knight, and then like on top of all, yeah. So it it kind of cascaded from that, just not getting enough reductions in hand, not enough pawns thrown out, and that's gonna be the match. So chess taking a 0-2, and Sai is gonna take this match against Nyamu with his spell boost and loot sword. A very popular lineup in Japan. And I think we have another match coming up. I think Shuka is going to be playing against Melty. So should I be streaming this? Or let's see. I mean, I can get into game. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. It looks like, yep. So we're jumping to the regularly scheduled long-term match between Shuka and Melty, which means I'm gonna change the stream a bit. And I'll see you guys over